We are living under trauma-based mind control. How the psyche deals with trauma, we've talked about this in the trauma section, is that when something is out of line, when something feels like it's emotionally overwhelming, your psyche dissociates. When you do this very consciously to a person, and when you consciously subject someone to that much emotional and physical abuse that they completely dissociate, they completely step out of their body and almost have an out of body experience, then you can create alter egos, alternative personalities. And those alternative personalities can be used for various things. Child crying right there. But if you don't go to that extreme, all of us on this planet, from birth, even before birth, we are being subjected to a very mild, very low level, but very constant, very solid trauma. Just look at how noisy this world is. Not just the audible noise, also the inaudible frequencies, artificially created, man-made frequencies. You literally can barely find a place on this planet that does not have service, coverage. Those are frequencies, and your body responds to those frequencies. And if you're sensitive enough to listen to your body's responses, then you understand when you are feeling completely like yourself, or when you are being agitated by something or someone that doesn't fully feel like you. And that's what the agenda behind trauma-based mind control is on a global scale. And it has been happening for thousands and millennia. So it's not a new thing. It's not like, oh, we've only been since World War II. And no. The agenda behind trauma-based mind control is that you don't even want to feel, because the feeling itself is never pure. It's never a relieving feeling. It's never peaceful. It's never loving. There is always at least a few subharmonics, a few frequencies that can suddenly and violently find you as a flashback, a memory, just an instinct, a feeling, something that makes you feel unsafe, insecure, unloved, unprotected, makes you feel like that you shouldn't be doing this, maybe I'm wrong, something that scares you. And when you're constantly scared and agitated, and after a while, we completely disconnect from our feeling sensations, from our bodies, and all we are left with is a very agitated mind that tries to translate the body's disharmonic signals. You have such a cacophony going on in your emotional life, in your hormonal life, in your electric circuits, that your mind is really trying to keep up. Your writer is really trying to give you scripts, give you explanations, justifications, characters to play out. But it's a translator. What you're giving it, what you're feeding it, is the energy of a traumatic experience. So all that your mind can do with it is trying to make sense of it, trying to justify it. If you feel this bad, then there must be something bad with you, with the world. Now let's deal with it. And if that's the baseline for who you are and how you act, if that's your character description, that there must be something wrong with the world or with me, then by default, you are going to develop cognitive dissonance, because you're going to protect your identity over a new piece of information that is potentially harmful because you've been so agitated emotionally that you cannot take any more harmful emotions. So you're going to opt for the familiar. And because trauma has been familiarized, we are quite literally addicted to it. Stockholm syndrome. From the writer's point of view, who made up this entire escalation of script, the fundamental reason for coming up with this script is alienation, isolation, dissociation, and the glorification of individuality and the demonization of unity at one man connection. Because when you do connect, you inherently feel. So when you convince people that feeling hurts, connection is painful, individuality is safe, powerful, being by yourself is a virtue, not knowing anything about the other person is peace, then you become an island unto yourself. You have no ground as to who you are or what you are. This is like sociopathy, but it's like sociopathy. This is the state of bullies, outright divas and hustlers who think that they can do anything because they have power or money, or they can do anything to you because they are your mothers or fathers, who genuinely believe that they are unquestionable, impenetrable, and they're not just morally right, morally just, they're not just doing it for you. They don't believe that anymore. It's outright aggression. They want to punish you because they are in so much pain, or at some point have been in so much pain. They have been traumatized to the point where they are addicted to that feeling. That's the only way of actually getting some pleasure, some satisfaction, or some relief, to feel other people's pain instead of having to feel their own pain. A cell that doesn't have a complex consciousness, it only communicates through very simple signals of pressure, heat, light, dark. When that cell is faced with an environment that is not just nurturing, but maybe actively, chemically, electrically, emotionally, vibrationally hostile, the consciousness, the complexity of consciousness of that cell is literally experiencing a near-death experience. Do you know how many times that happened to you before you were born? It's ridiculous. That's what trauma-based mind control is about. The way we carry children, the way we birth children in hospitals, the way we raise children is a pre-scripted plan for us to feel less and less, to create fantasy versions of ourselves that can be taken over by, look at how cool this entity is. It's giving you power. It's giving you money. It's giving you fame. Don't you want to sell this useless, meaningless shit in order for you to have a second Lamborghini? We feel so deeply unloved, unsafe, disconnected. And if we were to go into it without proper guidance or the proper safety net, safety cushion, it is really too much. You can drive yourself to suicidal states. So I don't like trauma healing and trauma work. That's why I call it emotional integration. But I think that's going to be my next step, to do something around resensitizing the body and being able to generate good feelings as your own safety cushion. Because if we keep looking at other vices without the knowledge and the tools and the skill set how to generate those feelings, then we're always going to be dependent. Maybe on people, maybe on substances, maybe on circumstances. I literally left London because I couldn't deal with how little I see the sun. It's something that I'm never going to be able to control in that country. But instead of being able to be happy, I was so dependent. I'm still so dependent on whether today I can see sunshine or not. And it is biologically affecting me, but I psychologically started taking it on to such a deep level that I was able to convince myself biochemically that just because there are clouds out there today, it must mean that it's going to be a shitty day. And I wasn't able to do the opposite. I wasn't really able to say that just because there is chaos outside, just because the entire world is falling apart, just because I don't have anybody to touch, anybody to love today, I am still so full of love. And it's a fucking great feeling. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Find something you love. Find something that you really feel love for or about or with or through. Find something that makes you so peaceful, so gentle, so loving, so soft. And find exactly where is that feeling inside you. Start analyzing that feeling. Start spending more and more time in the presence of that feeling. Start practicing that feeling. If it's a memory, then you can revisit that memory from different points of view. You can be different people. You can look at it from literally a quite different point of view perspective. If it's still something that's present in your life, practice that thing. Do it more often. Revisit that thing more and more often. Teach your body to rebalance all the shit that's going on and has been going on, and literally teach yourself how to generate good feelings out of nothing, so that you're not stress relieving by finally I get to feel a little bit of peace, but you go from, wow, I love this so much. I feel so good right now. I'm so connected, so at one, so much at peace, and keep reinforcing it for yourself, to yourself, that you are capable of doing this. Give yourself the neurofeedback that you are strong, powerful, capable, individualistic, and not resentful, but connected. Don't hate the world for it. Don't start to blame anybody that they were never able to give you what you've never gotten. For now, it doesn't matter. It fucking happened. It was fucking unfair, but it doesn't matter because it's not here right now. So don't give it any more power. It's gotten enough. Now we're here to learn how to create those feelings out of pure love, pure joy, pure innocence before anything got fucked up. All right, last looks. I love you so much.